We've been on the other side where we got 57 away from home, so there's no need for us to celebrate too much. Of course, the respect we have for them, they've given us shots many times, so we're just glad we got 5 points and we're in the mix in the rugby championship. Obviously, people are going to talk about the record. Last week they kept the record at Eden Park and they didn't put it into our faces. So the scoreline is nice and for the guys to hang in there is nice. It's more for us what we're trying to achieve. So I know what it feels like in that change room on the other side. So yeah, it's nice, but I don't think we have to dwell on that.
Rassie, congratulations on the win. There's a lot of talk this week about your backline, potential of it being having a new generation feel about it. You obviously empowered and entrusted them with a lot with the response from last week. Can you just talk to what the performance you saw from those young backs and how much did they stake their claim to be part of the future of Springboks rugby?
Yeah, I think firstly I must say, and we always try to say this, a couple of realities. It's opposition reality, our reality, and what the world's reality is, and then there's the truth. And the truth were, they had 8 players with less than 10 caps, and we only had 2 with less than 10 caps. So, we always saw it that way. It's that we've been building and giving guys chances at certain stages. And we're very happy with the performances they had, but the way the guys who didn't play this week prepared them for this game, because they played last week against the All Black team who, at one stage, they were really giving us shots. So we're happy to say that, we've used 40, I don't know how many players. But yes, guys put up their hands and they showed that they can do it at this stage. So it's nice to know that we had a lot of injuries today in this match. I'm not quite sure what the extent of those injuries are, but it's more that the trust from the older guys who did not play to prepare the younger guys. It's very nice. But New Zealand played also with 8 guys, less than 10 caps. So that was our reality going into this game.
The Boks and yourself got a fair amount of play the last couple of weeks. Did this team go out tonight?
No, not at all. We wanted to get, first of all, it always works like that. The belief in the team is the most important thing. And when you chop and change, and which we have done the whole year, I don't know. I think we're in the mix of 1 or 2 in the world again. So it's a long season, and we've got our Argentinian team that really played well and are young and exuberant, and which we'll face in a couple of weeks' time. But no, we never do it to prove people wrong. We do it to people keep on believing in us, because we believe in South African. And I'm not saying to be soppy and all wishy-washy. We feel what South Africans do for us, and we reminded ourselves, even after the haka, we had a quick chat about that. That there's hundreds of millions of people back home who trust in us to give our best, and we gave our best, I thought, today. And so no, we never want to prove people wrong. We want to put them to keep on believing in us.
Take the score line like this, 36 in particular in the second half is pretty impressive against any offense.
No, well, we were just focused on the job in hand, and I think where our coaches, I feel, is so good. All our coaching staff is the freedom that they gave us today, the freedom that they gave to the backs. Like, shoot your shots and don't be afraid if you make a mistake. But there was a couple of times where the ball went out or it was a knock-on where we had like an overlap. Nobody panicked and we just stuck to our guns. That gives us the kind of freedom, because this was a big game, whether we like it or not. And coach was willing to back the guys that haven't played a lot. And he showed us a belief, and then he just told us we must just keep on believing in each other as a team. And I think that was really important. Like what he said, the guys that didn't play, the pictures they showed us, you become the opposition, in the week. And I think that was really special. And that's what keeps us so tight as a team, is all those guys that don't play, the effort that they put in, and it helped us a lot today.
Congratulations on the result. Just talk us through
the character, the courage shown on the team with 4 first-half substitutions.
Yeah, we always say, like, it doesn't matter who plays in the team. We don't panic. And if someone gets hurt, like for me, I was finished by that time, and most people were like, "Oh, why are you taking him? Can't go anymore." But I'm not worried when I go off because I know when Kwaka comes in, he brings something different to what I have. So that's the trust and the belief amongst each other as a group, because the efforts we put in the weekend training sessions, every guy that's chosen, we all have belief in each other because we've seen what we can do in training, and our trainings are intense. And this week was different. So yeah, that's where we get it from training.
Rassie, we spoke to them, they're also dedicated to days when 2 days of the night to play for training. Just talk us through how the team processed his parting, and he's someone you know very, very, very well.
Yeah. Yeah, look, we've, I mean, there's many players that I played with, Jus van der Westhuizen and James Small, Ruben Creer, Hannes Strydom, you know, we can Chester, we can mention so many. But then in a week like this, I'm not quite sure the guys would even know Bevan really well, or Jan Boland really well. But for me, it was a bit emotional. I mean, we won the Currie Cup for the first time in 29 years, and Bevan was a boy we signed from SWD. So for me, it was a bit more emotional this last day. But we didn't talk about that, to be honest. We just said that bring what you come from and where you come from to the party, because that's what. So no, I personally for me it was not a nice day and a half, but I mean we did not as a team, we didn't even talk about that because there's so many people in my era which I played with that's not here anymore, that would have loved to be part of what the guys did today. So yeah, I said afterwards, I did tell them a little bit about Devon, and I mean Jan Boland and so on. So, but I mean Cornell's gone, and there's so many, and that's what the guys are carrying. Those guys' legacy.
But I see when you look back at what happened against Australia from 22-0 down, from 22-0 up to 38-22. Today was 10-7 down at half time with 8-8 in the first half. Just talk us through this evolution that the team is going through. There's still 2 games left in what is a very high tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I think we spoke in the change room, we've achieved nothing. We're in the mix for the Rugby Championship, but Australia and New Zealand will sort each other out, and we have to play a really energetic, well-drilled Argentinian team in a couple of weeks' time. What's your question?
The evolution of the team.
Oh, the evolution of the team. I think we're getting better. And I think the first 30 minutes, we still made a lot of errors. But I think the belief is listen, you can do it, express yourself, don't get like a robot. We don't pick you to be just doing your job and mechanical side of the thing. You are Damien Willemse. I mean, I remember Damien Willemse, Randy and Caleb Clark in Nelson Mbombela. And I sent him a video last night and said, remember this? And everybody, I mean, Ethan, everybody that played tonight, but it's the guys who's not playing that gives those guys belief. And New Zealand will go through the same. They're going to pick themselves up and understand. Well, they do understand. I can tell them what they must understand or not. But this must, people always say must build depth, and you must build squad depth. But then some people say, you're taking chances. It's a 24-hour job, keeping confidence. Nowadays, with social media and what people say, you have to 24 hours, like, tell yourself, hey, believe in yourself, believe in your teammates, believe in your coaches, and believe in when you announce a team on a Sunday evening before New Zealand, where they smashed us last week. It's a 24-hour job to keep belief and if you want to fall on your own sword, don't start pleasing people. And when you start pleasing just the people in the change room and the South African people, we got to the other side. And yes, our average age, I think, was with Kobus, who's 35. Our average age was 27 of the backline. The forwards were a bit older. But Elric is not here, Cameron's not here, Salman's not here, Gerrit Steenekamp's not here. Evan did not play. So hopefully we are building and people can see that we're building. but the next game's results is again going to determine where we are really. As I said, they gave us 57-0, you know, so once you got all, it's nice, it's satisfying. But the reality is tomorrow they'll regroup and Argentina will look at our attack and our scrums and our lineouts, and then it's the next game again. So we're going to enjoy tonight. We're going to flip and definitely enjoy tonight. No doubt, yeah. I will have a good time tonight. But, you know, when we're back on the plane and land in South Africa, then it's back to reality again. Then we second on the log in the Rugby Championship. I think we're lying pretty well in World Rugby on the log. But then the next two games will determine that again. So, you know, New Zealand didn't rub it in our faces last week when they got the Eden Park record and they kept it there. So for us, it's nice to have a winning margin like that. But reality is tomorrow, it's a new day.
See, relatively tight. Big turning point with the Lions here on
I think big turns were when we were on the try line and we scored a try and we felt maybe the ball was knocked on by them at the breakdown. That might have been a big turn where we lost belief, but we didn't lose belief there because we were 7-0 up there. And we, you know, you kind of, when you don't capitalize, when you go into the 22, you go, oh, we're again not capitalizing. And I think that was the big chat after the haka and in the change room is that let's fire shots. Eventually it's going to come. And it did come eventually. So, you need a few things to go your way for the belief to get there and to click and guys to start believing in. And yeah, I think that was a big moment. You're correct.